What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Friday morning or Friday afternoon stream, depending on where you are in the world. Happy to see everybody. Hopefully everything is kicking off. You guys can hear. I'm excited for today. Today is a good day. It's a sunny day outside. We had a bunch of rain here the last couple days. I'm happy to be, well, I'm inside, but nonetheless, it's still good. So give me a wave, say hi in chat. Let me know where you're from. I see John. He says, hope all is well. Same for you, John. Elijah and Amanda, what's up, y'all? Paul, glad to see you here. We're gonna do just a little chit chat warm up, so let me know how you guys are doing, and we'll get rolling here in just a little bit. I have about an hour and a half today for the stream, and so I want to make sure we have a timely stream today. The objective overall is going to be optimizing a subscriber site. So this is Tobias Hass's site, and it's for a football club. A lot of improvements to be made here, so I'm really excited about that. We're going to cover things like hosting and local Google fonts and a bunch of other things like that. We're also going to use the plugin Perf Matters to really extract the most out of this site. So we'll get into that in just a little bit, but that's the overall goal for today. So Amanda says, glad it's Friday. Me too. And Daniel, London, awesome. Happy to have you. Wanted to give a shout out to Daniel and a couple other folks, our members. We have Luke Allen twice. We have Chris, Lee Wai Hong, we have Taylor, John, Tobias, Jay Barrios. We have Kyle Van Duzen, who is not going to be here today. He is out on vacation. And then Cito, Daniel, Heinrich, and Evan. So happy to have all you guys. Thanks so much. Stratos, what's going on, man? Welcome into the stream. So there we go. So the site we're going to be working on today is Tobias's. So give him a little shout out in chat. You can see him down there. Essentially, we are going to take his football club site and try to get it as optimized as we can. So I'll show you guys in just a minute, but what I've done already is cloned that website from his hosting. I forget who it is. It's not one of the big names. It's not, Cloudways or anybody like that. But I created a server on my Cloudways account that's actually in Frankfurt because the football club is in Germany, based in Germany. So I figured it would make the most sense to have a server based over there. Of course, all of mine are in the US. And so basically what we're going to do is just see what a hosting change can get us, because I'll show you guys the page speed results here in just a moment. There's tons of room for improvement just around hosting. And then we'll get into the more nitty gritty optimization stuff. Daniel says F1 in one day. Yes, dude, let's go. And we're in Turkey. It's going to be such a good race, I hope. Such a good track. I'm happy to be back there. So we'll see how that goes. Also looking forward to F1 back in the US this year. That'll be great in Austin. So if any other F1 fans are in the chat, give us a shout out. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to check the stream levels and everything, make sure we're doing good here. Looks like all is well. So let me go ahead and switch my screen over here so you guys can kind of see what we're getting into. So Amanda says, how'd you get the member highlights in chat? So there's a little join button down there in the lower right. It's going to be next to the subscribe button, which of course you already are. And there's a membership that you can use here on YouTube, and that supports the channel and myself. So it is a paid function, but it is kind of like a member bonus. So I'm going to take my son to the first Monster Jam. Nice. That'll be fun. I've never done that before. There's a big kind of facility. There's a I don't know what you call it, an event venue about an hour from me where they do it sometimes, but I've never been. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. So here is the actual website itself. So you can see that this is the version that's already on Cloudways, and essentially this is the server that I created. So it's just a 2 GB Vultr server in Frankfurt, and all my other ones are in the US, like I said. I have a variance between 2 and 8 gig servers. What I've been doing lately in the last couple of months for client work is splitting the servers out so that they or basically in a 2 or 4 gig server, and then that way if one of them goes down or if one of them gets some major traffic spike, it's not going to affect any of the others. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And so essentially we just have already moved this over. So with the page speed results from before, the biggest thing that you would notice is that the load times were super long. So you can kind of see it here. It says time to interactive is 10 seconds. It just, obviously the site was very slow. So the hosting is probably going to have the biggest impact in terms of maybe overall percentage gain and the improvement. But I'm really interested to see what else we can do. And we'll find out. Then the GTmetrix score, I changed the test server to London, so it was a little bit closer. That's about as close as I could get to Germany. The default, of course, is Vancouver, which doesn't make sense. It's like on, probably opposite halves of the world almost, or nearly almost. And so yeah, these are our baseline results. So I screenshotted these before the stream started, so we kind of have a baseline and we can come back to these. But what I wanted to do right off the bat is just take the link from our Cloudways server and try to run that. The only caveat here is that on this site, there is Cloudflare. So I'm not sure exactly what Cloudflare was doing specifically for the live site, whether it was just DNS or some sort of caching or whatever. But it's not connected now. So we're going to essentially eliminate Cloudflare out of this particular site, only for testing purposes. That's okay. I want to disable Asset Cleanup Pro, which is also on this site, and just see what we can get. So let's go ahead and run this, and then I'll hop back over to chat and kind of see what's been going on. So we'll let that run. I like to do these one at a time. I don't know that it actually even makes that big of a difference if I were to run PageSpeed and GTmetrix at the same time, but I like to do them one by one just to make sure I'm not stepping on my own toes. Let's see. Strato says, Jack made some tests for web hosting in DigitalOcean, gets better result than Vultr. Oh, okay. That's really interesting because I know you are... Can I not analyze this URL? I'm going to run it again. I don't care. I'm going to run it until it goes. Because Stratos, you've been a big proponent of Vultr like I have for quite a long time. I've just been happy with Vultr because it just works. I typically don't have problems with it. And I think I've had them for like 3 years now. And I think it's gone down one time, which, why is this not working? Failed document request. Okay. Let's go with GTmetrix and see what we can do here. So let me make sure the analysis is still in London. So there we go. Let's analyze this again. And let's see if GTmetrix will work. Yeah, Amanda, I'll be very interested to know how DigitalOcean compares. I at one time had the Google service, and then also I never tried Amazon, but I had Google, and I really, really liked it. It felt super fast, but I couldn't get around paying for bandwidth. That seemed crazy for most small client sites. While we're waiting for this to load, if you guys haven't already, please drop a like on the stream while you're here. I greatly appreciate it, and that really does help. It tells YouTube that we're doing something right here. So GTmetrix is going to work. I wonder if there's a caching or some other kind of plugin conflict that we need to turn off. Maybe Asset Cleanup Pro is causing some problems, so we can go take a look at that. That's why I wanted to do this live, because these are the sorts of things that would be really difficult to convey in the video. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my screenshot real quick. So where is GTmetrix? GTmetrix before. So our scores before was performance of 41, structure of 92, contentful patent was 9.9, which is the same. Total blocking time was 169, so we've improved that a little bit. And then cumulative layout shift is exactly the same. So honestly, the hosting really didn't play that big of a difference. I am genuinely surprised. I thought that was going to be much more impactful than it has turned out to be so far. So that's really interesting, actually. But I want to know why PageSpeed Insights is not working. So let me come over here, and this is of course just a demo site, so we can safely deactivate some of these plugins. So I'm going to disable Cloudflare and Asset Cleanup, and then Happy Files, Hydrogen, Imagify, Oxy Extras, Ninja, SEO Press. None of those other ones I don't think should have any impact on why it's timing out, but it might be the Cloudflare one since it was giving us a configuration error. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to just reload this page entirely, and then I want to run the test again. Hopefully it doesn't time out this time. Good question, Stratos. The requests, let's see. Where did requests go? Is it in structure? I don't know. Hopefully, why is this not working? Of course, it's because we're streaming. That's so ridiculous. Lighthouse failed document request. Unstable internet. I don't think that's it. Unresponsive server? I don't think so. Why? Oh gosh, it never fails. I didn't have this problem before, and now of course that we're live on stream. Never fails, dude. The site just takes too long to load. Oh, well, if that's the case, then we can fix that. Page speed insights. Well, okay, so actually one thing that I would be curious about is if we just, oops, I didn't mean to click something. Hopefully I didn't do that. No, I didn't. Okay, one thing I wanted to do is just do a hard reload and see how long it feels like the page takes. So I've already clicked the button and it's still thinking about it. Okay, so maybe it's just timing out because it's still slow. Yeah, page speed insights is noping the hell out. It's crazy. I don't know why. I've only ever had that one time, and I thought it was just a fluke. So it does work. So what else could be the problem? What kind of scripts do we have on here? Just Gravatar. There's no tracking codes. These plugins are disabled. Advanced scripts. I wonder if there's anything in there. I don't know for sure. I suspect probably not. But what I'm going to do is open this in a new window just to be safe. I want to check what we have here. So we have a GDPR YouTube. We have a Lightbox CSS, Lightbox Gutenberg, Oxygen template, widget title, excerpt, and custom image size. Okay, there's nothing in here that would be causing a concern. So I wonder if we just try to do some optimization and see if we can pull anything out of the bag. Yeah, good call. Disable everything. So I think, yeah, we're just going to disable everything. Deactivate. And then we'll know, run again, if it's something to do with the site or if there's some other server conflict there. But I don't think there would be. That would be really, really odd if there was. Seems like it's going to work. So I bet it's just the site overall. So we can really pull some performance out of this. If you remember from before, oh yeah, there we go. Hey, look, hey, we're done. Woohoo! We fixed it. 100 on mobile and desktop. Yay! Good job, guys. No, obviously that's totally unrealistic. But okay, so we now know that the site is, or the page speed tool can at least analyze the site. So we can at least configure the optimizations and see what we can pull out of this. So now I'm going to go basically just reactivate everything except we don't need all-in-one. And I'm going to leave off asset cleanup and Cloudflare. So we'll go ahead and activate this stuff again. Why did it only put in a few of my, that's annoying. So apparently advanced scripts takes over your screen when you reactivate it. I don't like that. Chrome has integrated Lighthouse. You are correct. Oh, look, another clean plugins one that takes over your screen. That's actually incredibly annoying. Oh my gosh. I've never seen it do that. Schedule press, I don't remember if, well, actually I have the site open over here so I can go check on the back end and compare what plugins were active. I think there was a few of them that weren't active. The give and content bot were not. So let me make sure that's off. Content bot actually is. I'll come back to that in a second. And so is give. And then anything else? Schedule press was not active as well. Okay. So SEO press, advanced access manager. Oh, good Lord, y'all. Why am I struggling so hard here? Activate, Oxygen. Am I going to do these one by one? Deactivate content bot. Oxygen elements for WooCommerce. Oxy Ninja. Oxygen Gutenberg. SEO, user access manager. Okay. See, this is the kind of stuff that I would edit out of a real video. That's why I feel like live streams just feel so much more real and kind of like more authentic. Okay. So the give plugin we also didn't need. I'm going to deactivate that guy. Just let me deactivate it. Don't tell me I need a modal pop-up to acknowledge that. Oxy extras, that was active, wasn't it? Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to refresh the page, just make sure everything is still good to go. And I wonder if there's optimizations to be made in the Oxygen template. That was something else I was going to mention, is that I'm sure people, if you're watching the stream and you're hearing about Oxygen, you're probably thinking, but Jonathan, Oxygen solves all your page speed woes. Well, to some degree, yes. But then it also, as you start to build out your site and add things like YouTube videos and custom code and things like that, it can start to negate the benefit that Oxygen gives you, but we can bring that kind of stuff back. Strata says, Chrome has an integrated Lighthouse feature that you can use. It does, you're right. I wonder if we can give that a shot real quick. I forget how you even get to that, quite honestly. Chrome. Oh, it's the audits tab. Okay, so inspect and then Lighthouse, and let's go with generate report. So let's see if this works. I wonder if it's going to work here and not the web tool. I wonder why that is. It says it's computing our score. So hopefully this will work. If a site takes more than 1 second to become interactive, users lose attention and their perception of completing the page. There we go. So it's still working. It went away. Still thinking about it. I wonder what it's doing here. You don't see all this stuff happening on the web tool. It just kind of works. Walmart's, oh. There's all these cool little like things, but they go by too quickly. Okay. So here we go. The performance score says it's an 80, so that's super interesting. I feel like that's way better. Chrome extensions negatively affected the page load performance. Okay, so that could be a multitude of things, maybe like Hoverify or some of the other plugins that I have. Accessibility is 90, best practices is 80, SEO. I kind of feel like this performance score is not actually the same as what it would be on the web tool, because our score before was, what was it? PageSpeed Mobile before, it was a 23. So if hosting took it from a 23 to an 80, that'd be pretty incredible. It might be. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Now I wanna jump into adding perf matters. So this is the plugin that I think is going to have the biggest impact. This plugin I have written an article about on Facebook and on my website. I've used it on quite a few client sites already, all Oxygen sites, including the Permaslug site, to great effect. And I was kind of concerned on the Permaslug site that it would impact the checkouts for the course, but so far it's actually made no difference. And I even did a checkout myself, on a different system to make sure that that wasn't causing an issue. So Perf Matters is yet another performance plugin. Yes, I know, but the thing is, I want a performance plugin that is super simple to configure. And so, oh, hey Kyle, what's up, dude? Welcome back, or welcome, I should say. I thought you were going to be on vacation today. So Kyle says, definitely had hosting boost scores like that. Honestly, it's pretty amazing. I just want the damn web tool here to run, because that will give us, a really representative, all things considered, it would be the same. So I'm looking forward to that. What I want out of a performance plugin is super easy to configure. I want it to give me, 90-95% performance in exchange for very little configuration. And something like Asset Cleanup Pro is really great, but the thing that I find is there's just so much configuration you can do with that it's just too much for me. I just don't bother with it. So we have Perf Matters installed. So what you would do is, of course, just go to Settings and Perf Matters, and there's not a whole lot to really digest here. It's pretty simple. At first, you kind of think like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff here, but there's really not. So I think I'm going to do what I would consider probably pretty typical for most people. So emojis, dash icons on the front end, you don't need that. XML RPC. jQuery migrate, we typically don't need, so I'm going to turn it on and we'll see if it breaks the site. WLM manifest, Windows Live Writer, definitely don't need that. Real simple discovery link tag. Quite honestly, I don't know what that is. The above link is used by blog clients. If you edit your site from your browser, you don't need this. It's also used by some third-party applications. Sound like we don't need this. Short link, link tag. Okay, so we probably do need this because the permalinks on this site are not set as post name, so I'm going to disable RSS. Self pingbacks I'll leave. This other stuff, if you don't need comments, you can turn those off. I do. Then blank favicon would mean, like obviously your browser favicon right here, if for whatever reason it goes away, then it puts in a default one or just a blank favicon rather than the WordPress one coming back in, which is pretty handy because I've definitely had that, that message from clients. It's like, what's that W in my site? So there's that. So that's all we're going to switch on the general tab. So we just turned on a bunch of little toggles, probably not going to make that big of a difference at this point. Next up, we're going to go to assets. So this script manager is very similar to advanced, what is it called? Advanced script manager, whatever the one that I just said was, the one that's on this site. Asset Cleanup Pro. Taylor! Sup, dude? Happy Friday. So I wanted to give a shout out to Taylor. So this stream, optimizing subscriber sites was his idea. So he's my idea man these days. I really appreciate you, Taylor. Welcome to the party, dude. Let's see here. So if you're watching, please consider dropping a like on the stream. It does help. Thank you very, very much. So the script manager is very similar to Asset Cleanup Pro. It's kind of a front-end tool, so when you switch it on, it really makes no difference. I will go ahead and switch it on and we can take a look in just a little bit at how it works. Very similar to Asset Cleanup Pro, except you can do it on the front end in a visual interface, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, drop those custom emojis. Let's go. So then the next thing you're probably going to care about, one of the things that will probably have the biggest impact is this defer JavaScript. So this is going to add a defer tag to most JavaScript unless you stick it in the exclude from deferral. So one thing you might want to do if you have Stripe on your site is just add like stripe.js because that actually runs across your site for fraud prevention. So if you're really concerned with checkouts, you could add the JS here for Stripe, and then that way you can make sure you don't, have any checkout issues. Like I said, I actually didn't even do this on the PremislUg site and the checkouts all work perfectly fine. Hi, the only way to restrict plugins to load in all pages. Yeah, I mean, you could do it by custom code, but with these plugins, it's just obviously way, way easier. Include jQuery is something that you can turn on. This is definitely a toggle we'll test, so I'm gonna leave that off for the moment and we're gonna see if it makes any impact. Now, the next one is delay JavaScript. So this is a really interesting one. So if your site is not heavily dependent, 2 months, let's go, Taylor. Yeah, buddy. So delay means that it's not going to load the JavaScript until the user interacts with the page. So I was having a problem on a client site where they have this little chat widget that comes from a third-party tool they use, not Facebook or anything like that. It's a different business application, but it was loading stuff from AWS, and PageSpeed Insights was throwing an error. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to the PageSpeed score on mobile to go higher than like 50. And then once I turned on delay, what ends up happening is when the page loads and you don't move your mouse or interact with the page, the little chat widget doesn't pop up. As soon as you move the mouse, then it pops up, which is so cool because you're going to need to move your mouse down there anyway, or scroll to get it to pop up. And so that was awesome because then our page speed score jumped to like 84 or something like that. So this delay is definitely something worth playing with. Now, the thing is, you could change it to delay all scripts, which you can definitely test, or you can delay specified scripts. That example I just mentioned with the client, I actually changed it to all scripts. There's no checkout, no paid functionality on their site, so that was actually really easy to do. And almost everything was built inside of Oxygen, so there was really no worry there. What I think I'll do right now is leave delay JavaScript off so we can go ahead and test that in a little bit. So we will just save our changes here. So this one is super easy. All we did was just defer JavaScript on and that's it. We'll look at the script manager in a little bit. Now, preloading is a really cool feature, so the instant page option is awesome. I definitely recognize that the instant page functionality probably has an impact on bandwidth, but what's cool about this is as you hover over a link, it's already prefetching that page for you in the back end. So when you click the link, it's so fast. It's like scary fast because it's already done the loading. You're contemplating, you know, maybe where you want where you want to go on the site, what link you want to click. And by the time you've decided that, the page is already loaded and you've just hopped right into it, which is amazing. Oh no, Luke and Taylor are here. We got double trouble, y'all. So the instant page option is super, super cool. Now, preloading is another thing that's really useful if you have like some fonts that are preventing the page from loading, or if you're getting that, that kind of flash of fonts. You can definitely use this to preload, or if there's a script, like I mentioned, that little chatbot that you need to have pop up before, or if it's, you know, giving you the render blocking resources error, then this is something you can do. There's tons of different types here. You can do scripts and all kinds of stuff. So that one's really handy. Google wants pop-ups after scrolling some content or after more than 10 seconds. Yeah, I should have said that little chat widget I'm talking about is actually just a tiny little button in the lower corner. So it's not a modal or a pop-up. Chris says, morning from Portland. What's up, dude? Welcome. Glad to have you. I know it's early there for you still. Or actually, I guess Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon. That would be opposite ends of the country. Pre-connect is very similar. This is not actually something I've had to use just yet. But this one allows browsers to set up early connections before an HTTP request. So there you go. Oregon. Nice, dude. Sahil, welcome. I'm doing well. How are you? And then DNS prefetch, I actually haven't even used. Resolves domain names before a user clicks. That's kind of crazy. I imagine if you're going to like a third-party site, you could have it do that, which would be kind of neat. So really all we're going to change here is the instant page. So I'm going to save that. And what we'll do real quick is actually just go refresh on the front end. And once it finally refreshes, then we'll see if the instant page has an impact. So if I hover over this and let's say I'm like, I don't know which one I want to go to. Let's go here. Oh no, it's not as fast as it should be. That's not too bad. We can get this better. We can definitely make this better. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. There is tons of images on this page, so we'll see what we can do here. We'll come back to that instant page because I think it can be better. So next up is the lazy loading functionality. So lazy loading is built into this, so you can do images, you can do iframes and videos, and then this is super cool. So this actually changes the YouTube video element to a thumbnail of the YouTube link, you know, that it automatically pulls in for you. Once you click it, it brings the YouTube player back in. So YouTube is one thing that on the Permaslug site specifically, I had a bunch of errors related to page speed on, and this is going to be really, really cool. So that actually fixed it. That you'll notice on the homepage of the Permaslug site is really effective. You can also exclude from lazy loading. You can just paste the images in there and that will work. This threshold thing is it accepts both pixels and percentages. So that allows you to configure how much before the viewport it should actually load. So you can kind of prevent images from popping in, you know, like in your face essentially. So I've been changing this to 25%. And then the other thing that's awesome is add missing image dimensions. So if we could get page speed insights to work, sometimes you'll get that error message in here that says, you know, maybe it's in here. No, evidently not. Let's see. Is it in here? Yeah, here we go. So this is the one. Images have explicit height and width. So in Oxygen, especially in a repeater, even if you go set the images, sometimes you'll still get this error message. And what this does is it basically forces that to be fixed for you. The downside is that there are some instances where images will kind of stretch and distort. So you have to go make sure that you do have the images set in terms of height and width in the Oxygen interface. But we'll save that and kind of see what this does. And then next up you have the fonts. So you can actually disable your Google Fonts if you want. You can also locally host your Google Fonts, but this isn't my preferred way to do it. I think this is totally viable. If you want to do it this way, you certainly can. But I just prefer, specifically for us Oxygen folks, the Matthias Altman, you know, locally hosting font solution, which we'll do in a little bit. So you also have a CDN. So this would be kind of a third-party CDN. They don't provide one for you, but if you have Cloudflare or something like that, you can pop that in. And then you can also add your Google Analytics and some other insights like, you know, Monster Insights and AMP. That's not something I've done, but might actually switch to. I really like this plugin, and so far we've used it on quite a few different client sites. So we have kind of our general setup here. What I want to do before we try to test in PageSpeed Insights is go ahead and use Matthias Altman's local hosting fonts and see if we can make any impact there. So let's see. It is Altman. There we go. I'm just going to go straight to this. So I have a full tutorial on this if you guys have seen it before. This is going to be kind of a refresher, but essentially this is just a code snippet that finds locally hosted Google fonts, and then it adds them to the Oxygen Builder interface for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Essentially, we are going to go to, let's see. There is a web font loader tool. So here in his article, you can see there's this link, and on his website, he has this link, if it will load. Hopefully this is not my fault. There we go. You would just essentially search for the name. I don't know what the fonts are called on this site, but if you just search the Google font Lado, then you can go ahead and download the entire file right here, which is super cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at what some of these fonts are. In fact, I'm going to use Hoverify. I don't know if you guys can see. There we go. So we have Montserrat, then Barlow. Is that our only two here? So Barlow, Montserrat. Let's go check another page just to be sure. I'm going to go back to the home page. We definitely still have room for improvement. Taylor says, about to start driving. Have a good weekend. Yeah, dude. Thanks. You too. Hope everybody has some fun plans for the weekend. Still plenty more improvement to be had on the page speed front. But also one thing to consider is that I'm obviously in the US, and the server this is hosted on is in Frankfurt. So it's a long way for me to connect to this site. So that could be having an impact as well. Tobias says only these two fonts. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is search for Barlow, and then I will download this guy. And then we have Montserrat, which I bet I probably already have downloaded. And I do. Yep. You can see I get the one right there. So what I need to do here is just extract these fonts. And because this is outside of my browser, it's not going to show this to you. But what I'll do here is close out of this. Then we actually need the script itself. I always forget where it is. So this is the code snippet itself. We could pop this in advanced scripts. Which we are going to do. I've actually not imported one to advanced scripts before. I've always just used code snippets. So we just downloaded his script, and then let's go to, where is it? Tools, advanced scripts, and then how do you import? Is it this? Drop exported JSON files here. All right, so we're going to take this and pop it right there. Oxygen custom fonts. So there we go. There's nothing you need to do with this. You actually just import it, you just save it, and then you're done with the code snippet portion. So then the next thing you would need to do is actually get those font files that you had into your website. So typically I would do this with FTP. You won't be able to see the FTP, so I'm going to do it a way that I typically am not super comfortable with, which is just getting a file manager plugin. If you use one of these, I definitely recommend you disable it as soon as you're done, because I feel like they basically open up a giant gaping hole in your security on your site. So just keep that in mind. But this will be nice and easy once we can actually get to it. Activate. I think I clicked it. I think. We'll see. Come on now. While we're waiting, does anybody have fun plans for the weekend? I'm going to be just chilling at home with my son. Not a whole lot going on. All right, then now we have the WP file manager, so we can go inside here, and then we need to browse to the font directory. So we're going to go WP content, uploads, and then there's a folder in here called fonts. And you just need to drag your fonts into this folder. It's going to automatically sort them and organize them for you. So how you do it is not all that relevant. So what I'll do is go Barlow, then Latin, and we're going to go with this. So I'm just going to drag the font files right in there. I don't even need to organize them because the script automatically detects them and sorts them for you, which is so cool. Okay, and then I'll go with Latin again. Hopefully the Latin font is correct. I don't know if it's Latin extended for any kind of German characters, but I think we'll be solid here. Hins Night Saturday? I should know what that word means, Amanda, but I actually don't. What is a Hins Night? Hey, Edgardo, nice to see you. Stratos, yes I do. He's 9 years old, growing like a little weed. Okay, so now we have the fonts installed, and what we're gonna do is go, actually, first of all, I'm gonna go disable this, this WP File Manager plugin because like I said, I don't want this on the site. So we're gonna close out of that and get it gone. And then we're gonna go with Oxygen and templates, and we need to go change our global fonts real quick. So let me try to find, there it is right there, main template. We'll edit this with Oxygen. Bachelorette, gotcha. Okay, I figured that's kind of what it was, something along those lines. That sounds fun. Hopefully you guys have a great time. Hope the weather's good. 3.9 beta 1 is available, you're right. It's very similar to the alpha, except it should be a lot more stable. Getting pretty close to a release candidate, I would hope, so we can actually use it on live sites, which would be awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. We got 34 people watching, so thank you guys. Hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, also, it's gonna, the 3.9 alpha improves page load speed for the Oxygen editor itself, which is cool. And then drag and drop is supposed to be better. So we're going to go with global styles. We're going to go with fonts. And then we have Montserrat and we have Barlow. The thing is, with the way you tell the local font is by it being blue, the name of the font being blue. So I don't actually have that. Did I haven't used advanced scripts that much. I wonder if perhaps I didn't actually activate the script. That is entirely possible. Where is it? Oxygen, custom fonts. Oh, is it in here twice? Did I accidentally load it twice, or did maybe he already had it? Yeah, I did have it in here, and I just didn't turn it on. Okay, so that's new. I didn't know. So I'm going to refresh Oxygen again. Sorry about that. So we haven't even done another page speed scan yet. I'm hoping once we get this local font installed, we can rerun it, and maybe the page speed tool will actually work. And then we can go ahead and start knocking out some more problems. I anticipate it will run, but I don't want to speak too soon. Yeah, I need to start using advanced scripts because I bought it, but it's just not a tool that I've gotten out of the... Oh, Tobias already had it. I noticed, yeah, now that it's in there twice, but at least I got to show how it works. So we're going to go with, again, settings, global styles, fonts. And now you can see when the font is in blue instead of in white, those are the local fonts. So it's just super, super easy. We're going to just change this display font to Montserrat and then the text font to Barlow. And it's not going to change anything because the the fonts are exactly the same. But I thought it made it blue right here. Evidently not. So we will save this. And then I'm going to get out of Oxygen entirely. And let's go ahead and try to run the page speed scan again. So I'm going to take this URL. We are going to go back up here. I'll just paste it in again and then analyze. Please work. Well, I'm going to close my eyes. Somebody tell me if it works or not. Please. I'm peeking. Please work. 78, 79, 80. Oh! Unable to reliably load the page you requested. What about this is not working properly? Why would it just not work? So weird. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's go with our assets tab. And then, before we do the delay JavaScript, I'm going to try to rerun the GT metrics performance tool and see if this will actually run. and see if this is making any impact. Maybe there's something else. Yeah, it could be Cloudway's domain problem, but I don't think so. Maybe I need to attach a domain to this. I think I probably have a demo domain I could use. That's actually a good idea. Okay, let's do that. So I am going to make a subdomain on the Permaslug site real quick. Yeah, Lighthouse and Inspector does run, so I bet it is probably a domain issue. Good call on that one. Okay, give me just a second here. I'm going to go make a subdomain. Let's see. The interface is a little different. So we're going to go with Tobias A. And then what is our... There's not really a whole lot that's changed there. Here is our AP. True, Elijah. Yeah. Good call. Yep, I'm going to stop. The domain thing is, yeah, you're right. You're right. So with that in mind, GT metrics ran, but obviously it's not that improved. And in fact, this metric went up. I feel like what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and just turn on delay JavaScript, and I'm going to turn on delay all scripts and see what happens. I think that's going to help. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with a hard reload, and then I'm not going to move the mouse, and let's see if it's faster. So I've reloaded it. No, it doesn't really feel faster. I mean, it works. So there's some sliders here. I wonder if those are third-party components. Is this Oxy Extras? I wonder if it's one of those. Yeah, interesting. So I don't think the delay JavaScript is going to have any impact, quite honestly. I am going to rerun it, but trying to think of what else it could be. It's got to be a plugin conflict because it ran perfectly fine and obviously gave us 100. So I don't think it's the domain. Maybe it's one of the third-party plugins. Maybe there's some weird conflict going on. I've honestly never had the PageSpeed Insights tool fail more than once. I've just reran it immediately and it gave me a score. So yeah. GT metrics waterfall. Just says well, it's very clear there's one component of this that's taking forever. Oh, sorry, I keep scrolling. I'm trying to get back to where it was. This says 9 seconds, but those milliseconds don't add up to 9 seconds. Is it DNS? I wonder if it's... Oh, are we about to get a score? 99. Please don't fail. Please don't fail. Okay, there we go. So there is our first successful test in a while. So let me look at my thing. I'm pretty sure our score was a 24, if I remember correctly from before. It was, PageSpeed Mobile before was a 23. So let me compare some of these numbers. So first contentful paint has gone down. It was 3.2, now it's 2.9. Our time to interactive is now 6.1, and it was 10.3. So then speed index is essentially the same. It's 19 before. Total blocking time is down from 6,000 milliseconds to 2,800. Cumulative layout shift is the same. Large contentful paint is down just a little bit, but we still have Reduce initial server response time. Why would that be? It's on a decent, I mean, it's only a 2 gig server, but it should be fast. There's nothing else on this. And then it's taking 9 seconds? That's crazy. I don't believe that. So what would be blocking this? Let's use the script manager real quick and see if it tells us anything that's loading on this homepage that might be part of the problem. Because I wonder if we could delay. Well, we already have delay JavaScript on. So we have Oxy Ninja, we have Imagify, Fluent Forms. That's a good thought, Amanda. Yep. Oxy Extras. We have SEO Press. Oxygen, we have some other scripts. So here's a CDN. We're pulling some JS in for some Lightbox stuff. And then this right here. So this JS is also third party. So I kind of feel like it's not the Lightbox one. I kind of feel like it's probably this one. So I'm just going to turn those off. I'm assuming this says confirm or save. Yeah, okay, cool. No disabled location selected. Overall, is that everything? I'm assuming that's everywhere. Let's see. I feel silly having to translate this, but I'm going to do it. Oh, no, not Japanese, English. All over. Okay. So we're going to have those disabled all over. I think this is probably going to break the site, but let's take a look and see. Might not make much of a difference. Oh, now it doesn't even want to connect. Thank you, Mark. Okay, so the site does work, but still took a while to load. So I feel like maybe that's not the problem. Nah, I don't need another extension. Already got enough of those. Okay, so we're still having the same kind of super long load here. Why does this just take so long? It's got to be a plugin. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and disable some of these plugins. Let's just go with like maybe 1 or 2 at a time. So I kind of don't think it's Fluent Forms, but just to be clear, I'm going to disable these 3. So we got Fluent Forms disabled. I'm going to hard reload. And I feel like it should already have been responding to a hard reload by now. Seems sort of faster. I'm going to leave them disabled. So we're going to go with happy files. Doubt it's happy files because that shouldn't be doing anything on the front end. I hate to test these one by one because that's going to take us a while, but I kind of feel like we have to sort of rule it out. Okay, so happy files definitely wasn't it. I wanted to test it just to be clear. That made no real difference. Hydrogen pack, we're going to deactivate that bad boy. Again, I highly doubt it's hydrogen pack because that's an oxygen builder thing, but you never know. Maybe something crazy is going on. Again, nope, no real impact. This is exactly what I would be doing on a real site if I was having this problem. I'm going to go with something that would actually have an impact on the front end. Let's go with Oxy Extras. I kind of doubt it because obviously that plugin is great, but we'll just see here. No. Oh, let's see. So are those sliders Oxy extras? I think, yeah. Okay. So there it is. There are some things that are broken on the site now. So we'll come back to that in a moment. SEO Press, I feel like probably shouldn't do it. Let's see if maybe anything has changed. So reduce initial server response time was 9.6 seconds. So we have a few plugins disabled. I want to see if anything changes. It's got to be one of those third-party JavaScript libraries, I would think. I also wonder where that script is loading. Yeah, 2.0, I was thinking the same thing. Once again, it timed out, so it's got to be some other script. Custom image size, we have excerpt, foosball.d API. You think it's SEO Press, Tobias? Okay, it's your site. I'm going to give it a shot then. Let me come down here. I'm going to disable SEO Press. We're going to deactivate. Refresh. Oh, dude, yeah, look at how fast that was. I'm gonna hard reload in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's it. SEO Press. Wow. So let's try to rerun this scan. That's wild if that's the case. People love SEO Press, right? I don't use it personally, but I know, aren't people like always going on about how good it is? Look at that. 84 now. The test runs, and our numbers are honestly really good. 95 on desktop and 84 on mobile. That is wild, dude. There we go. That's so what is it about SEO Press that's not working? That doesn't make any sense. Rank math, yeah, that's another one I feel like people love. Okay, so Tobias, you went ahead and disabled that plugin on the actual live site. So now what I want to do is go back to PageSpeed Insights. Yeah, Elijah, I did not either. That's really wild. So we're going to compare what the live site looks like with everything else exactly the same. None of the changes that we've done on this staging site. Tobias went ahead and disabled the plugin, I believe he said. I don't know if he turned it back on. I want to double check real quick, just to see if we get a reliable page speed score. And yep, okay, it's disabled. Damn, dude, look at that. So we only have a very, very minor change. Well, I should say it's better. It's definitely better. But look at the comparison. So this is the live site with just SEO Press disabled. And then it's at 75. So first contentful paint's 2.9. Total blocking time is only 100 milliseconds. We were at 9,000 before. And then time to interactive is 4.5. So then on our demo site with all these other changes, there's still some things we need to go back. First contentful paint's 2.9. Time to interactive 2.9. Total blocking time is 0 milliseconds. Still getting a warning about reduce initial server response time, but I feel like with the combination of like Cloudflare and a couple other things, you could definitely make that go get better. Let's see. So we also have the fonts here. So we actually didn't disable the fonts in our install. That was one thing I forgot to do. So you can, of course, in Perf Matters, like I already showed you guys, disable your Google Fonts in there. But the way that I've been doing it is going to our settings and then our, where the hell is it? Bloat eliminator. Oh, there we go. If I can actually click it, and then you can go with disable Google Fonts and save, because of course now they're loaded locally. And then we would go with, yeah, cache. Yep. Good call, Jaden. I could enable the Cloudways varnish cache and see if that makes any impact. So we should be able to save 780 milliseconds according to this now that our fonts are disabled. So if we reanalyze our test server, we still have a few things to turn back on. And here I am blaming it on your foosball API. I was thinking, Tobias, that might be what it was, but turns out it's not. So 93, dude, that was the only thing we disabled was Google Fonts. Are you kidding me? That's unreal. That is ridiculous. So we still have 1700 milliseconds for reduce server response time, so we can fix that. But 93 on mobile and 98 on desktop. Well, actually, let's go get a more realistic situation here. So we need to turn back on Fluent Forms. We need to turn back on Happy Files, Hydrogen Pack, and Oxy Extras. Still have a couple other things. Yes, I did flush cache. In fact, there is no caching turned on this server. This server has nothing else on it except this site. All-in-one WP, we don't need that. Asset cleanup, we've had that disabled the whole time. Anything else I'm forgetting here? SEO press is still disabled. What else did we... I forget. Wasn't there something else I did trying to test this? Let's go take a look at perf matters. Assets, we have defer JavaScript and delay. Delay is definitely something you need to test because I also turned on the beta delay all scripts. Preloading, enable instant page. Now we can actually get the preload instant page working because it's going to be screaming fast. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick to everybody watching, first of all, thank you guys. We have 35 people watching. If you don't already have Perf Matters, there is a link in the description for you to grab that. It's an affiliate link, but it does give me a small kickback. I very much appreciate it. And if you haven't already liked the stream, please do. Amanda Lucas says all scripts off. Sorry? What do you mean? Maybe I missed something. All scripts. Did you mean in advanced scripts? Did I turn off anything else? GSAP is off. On the home page, I did go disable 2 scripts in the Perf Matters script functionality. You did. Yeah. Good call. So we'll save those. Hopefully those don't make that big of an impact. Is this exit? Turns out I know German. You guys didn't know that, did you? Okay, so good call, Amanda. Thank you for that help. So we got those scripts turned back on. So everything should be just about functional on the homepage now. Yeah, I don't see any more errors. So now let's go retest. So we had 93 and 98. Analyze. I wonder if it's going to go up or down from that 93. I suspect slightly down. Yes, Jaden, I did. I did remove the FTP plugin. I never ever leave those on the sites. I only use it temporarily and then I immediately delete it. Michael, what's up? Welcome to the party. 91. Okay, I'm not mad at that. 91 is still absolutely exceptional. So we have 98 on desktop and we have 91 on mobile. So here, just to compare, let me see if I can pull up, can I put this in a tab? Yeah. All right, so let's look at this. This is the screenshot from before. I didn't do a full page. Oh yeah, I did. Hold on one second. Sorry. So, all right, so here we go. This was the test on the live site on the existing server. So here's kind of the improvements that we've made. So we started off on mobile on a 23 score. Time to interactive was 10 seconds. Total blocking time 6,000 milliseconds, and CLS was a 0.01. And now we have time to interactive 2.7. CLS is ever so slightly higher. Blocking time 130 milliseconds, but we have a score of 91. So let's go hard reload real quick and see how fast it is now. Bam. Look at that. It's actually a functional site now. Wow. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys was the instant load functionality. So let me go back over here to Perf Matters just to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So we have under preloading, we have the enable instant page function. So this is basically prefetching a page when you hover over it. So if we go to something like this, you're like, hey, I think I want to go to this page. Look at how fast that is. Oh, whoo, so good. It's actually functional. Oh, so there is SEO Press breadcrumbs there that aren't working, obviously, because we disabled that plugin. Looks pretty good. Console errors. Do we have any? Negative. No console errors. Would you look at that? If I load the home page, still no console errors. Let's go. That's awesome. Also, let's rerun our GTmetrix scan real quick. So I want to take a full page screenshot of this real quick. I'm going to go to responsive, capture full size screenshot. So now we have that. And then I want to rerun this test. So we had I'm just going to keep these numbers in mind, 37 and 92. We'll see how this works. This has actually been really, really fun. This was kind of an interesting challenge. I kind of expected it to be turning on some toggles and it would just work, but it's working really, really well. Jaden, the live site is FC Königsfeld.de. I'll pop it in chat so you can take a look. Yeah, good call, Amanda. Where did GTmetrix go? That was our thing. Here it is. Wow, look at that. It's all green. It's all pretty and green. Oh my gosh. So there we go. So it's only at 1.5 seconds now. Time to first byte is still not super great, but I mean, it's obviously, 1,000 times better than it was before. So to compare, I have the GTmetrix screenshot that I did on the current live server. So there's the numbers, 41 and 92. Contentful paint was 9.9 seconds, blocking time 169, and CLS of 0.02. Now we have a 0 milliseconds blocking time. CLS is still the same, but we have a 90% on performance. So it's about as good as it gets. But yes, I agree with everyone who has said we should go ahead and test turning SEO Press back on. Time to first byte is going to come down to server and caching, so we can turn on varnish in just a little bit and see if we can fix that. But I would also I would have put this on a Vultr high frequency server, but the difference is that the server location wasn't available in Frankfurt for high frequency, which is what I wanted because, of course, this is a German football club. So I'm going to turn on SEO Press and SEO Press Pro, and it probably will detonate our speeds. So I'm going to close these tabs. I'm going to reactivate these two. Amanda, have you had problems with load times on any of your sites with SEO Press? I'm really curious to know now. All right, guys. So here, let's check this out. We have it enabled on the front end. Yeah, look at that. It would have already loaded by now. It would have been done already. So SEO Press is definitely the problem. I'll rerun the scan real quick and see if we can get it to bug out again. So analyze that. Kind of crazy. Oh, wow, Amanda, that's crazy. So yeah, you'll definitely have to check that. All right, let's see if the scan works. I have a feeling it's not going to. There, wow, look at that, dude. It can't even run. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a good thought, Stratos. We can actually check the plugin settings here. This is not a plugin I'm particularly familiar with. Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff means. I highly doubt there's anything in here that would just bork the site as hard as this has. That is wild, dude. 10 seconds down to like barely 2. That's a monumental increase. Really wild. Okay, well, I think we've solved it. So, actually, you know what? One more thing I want to do. Oh, 404 monitoring, is that what it is? Where is that? Advanced? I don't know where 404 monitoring is, if you can tell me where that is. Is it Pro? 404. Enable 404 monitoring. Save. Oh, I can just disable the whole thing. Okay, there we go. Save. I'm going to leave redirects alone because I want to know if it's this 404 monitoring thing. So we've changed nothing else. Let's try to rerun. We'll see if that has any impact. It would be kind of wild if it does. I wonder if it's 404, if it's a problem with Maybe oxygen. Maybe it doesn't like it with oxygen for some reason. But surely other people... Okay, so that's not it. It filled again. And then with the 404 off, I'm going to refresh, hard reload. Yeah, that's not it. Definitely not. One other thing I wanted to test was if we disable perf matters. And let me do two things real quick here. So I'm going to go ahead and disable SEO press entirely. Deactivate. So those are now deactivated, right? Yes, so SEO press is off. So what I wanted to do now was go to perf matters. I'm going to go to tools. I am going to export the plugin settings just in case. Then I'm actually going to go disable perf matters, and let's rerun the scan. So we're going to deactivate. Perf matters is now off. And let's rerun the scan to see how big of an impact it actually made, if anything, or if our problems and our performance gain came uniquely down to, disabling SEO press. Damn, this has been a good stream. This is awesome. Really enjoying that. Okay, so it does actually make a substantial impact. So it was at 65 on mobile, and we took it all the way up to high 90, or well, low 90s, I should say. Desktop, it really doesn't make any difference for, because it's already just so good. But desktop is at 65. So yeah, it still does make a very substantial impact. So I would highly recommend you use perf matters, because like I said, I am going to do this on every single site. Okay, so just deactivating it doesn't actually change your settings, which is good. One more time, just because I love seeing that pretty green, I'm going to rerun it again. Yeah, good call. We did localize the fonts. You are absolutely right. Create business email. Use Google Business. Use G Suite. It's the best one there is. There's no doubt. All right, so there we go. Went from 65 to 90 with perf matters. So I am very, very happy with that. So what do you guys think? Will you use this plugin? Is this something you're going to go check out? Do you use SEO press? Are you going to see what this is? Glad to see all this on stream. Yeah, dude, me too. This actually worked out beautifully. This was like a perfect learning experience. Totally. Yeah, I feel like there's something that SEO press could do to fix this, because whatever it is shouldn't be breaking the site for 9 seconds. But it is concerning. I've always used the WP Dev. What do you call it? Smart crawl. And I don't have this problem. But then again, I don't have a 90 on my agency site. I think it's like 84 or something like that. Still decent, but not that great. The other question is, I would love to know if a high frequency server or a faster server would make a better impact, because we still have this reduced initial server response time of 2 seconds, which in my opinion is way too high. I would want it to be substantially more than that. We still have serve images in next gen formats. There's only 2 of them, so you could probably change these to WebP or something like that. We do have a couple render blocking resources. What are these? So this is Oxygen CSS caching. Do we have CSS caching on in Oxygen settings? Yes, okay. Interesting. Properly sized images. There is apparently an image that's too big for its spot. Oh yeah, try with varnish. Good call. Let me turn that on. So we're going to go with application, varnish, on. This is typically something I keep off on any e-commerce sites, but on most just standard sites, I do turn it on. It is kind of annoying when you're working in Oxygen sometimes, because things just like don't pop up on the front end, but you come turn it off, it works. Then you can come turn it back on. Yeah, Amanda, definitely reach out to me. Let me know what you find. Let me know what you find on the results with your own testing. So let's refresh this real quick. That was a hard reload. So now I'm going to just go to a different random page and then back to the home page. So there we go. Now it's working. And I assume we're probably going to need to run the scan twice now that varnish caching is on. So we'll do it twice just to be sure. Vika says, when cache is enabled, time to first byte and server response time will drop. Okay, sweet. We'll definitely check that out. While we're waiting for this, please drop a like on the stream. I appreciate every single one of you watching. Holy crap, it's a 96. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. So yeah, that's down. You're right. It dropped nearly, what was it? Like 800 milliseconds off? That is wild, dude. 96 and 98. Holy crap. That's freaking insane. I'm going to run it one more time so we can take a kind of an average. So 96 and 98. Run it again. And then let's go run GT metrics on this one more time. I want to see what they have to say. This is sick. I love this stream. I'm going to do another one of these. This is awesome. Hopefully the other ones go as you know, smoothly as this. But the challenge for this has been super fun. Preload LCP and you'll see even better results. Let's see here. I mean, I don't know how much better it can get. It's 96 and 98. That's wild. I would be just so happy with that. So there's a 90 and a 97. I'm assuming there's going to be some variance in your server response time. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what Vicus means by preload LCP. So like, are you talking about in perf matters? Can you do something with the preload there? Tobias says, so fast. Thank you. You're so welcome, dude. Really appreciate you. Thanks for reaching out and letting us use your site on stream. So in here, is there a way to find what is the LCP? He means preload of the banner image or the largest image. Ah. So like essentially, are you talking about like this image and its background? Oh, this. What is that? I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. But it's saying it's the tagline. So do I need to preload the image itself? Is it this? Am I going to take that image and preload this? Is that what it's saying? Where did it go? Because it just has a little red bar. I can't really tell what that is. Can you preload an entire div like that? I'll see what Vicus has to say. Thanks for your help, dude. It's been awesome. I want to check that out, see if we can get that preload to work and see if we can get the response time and the LCP down a little bit. And then we'll go from there. What was the LCP? 3 seconds, yeah. It's the bottom of the hero. Oh. Like all this stuff? The tagline. Oh, okay. This right here. So then what exactly do you do with that? FCK match data. So something about this in perf matters? It's not a document, right? But like it's not a URL source. So what exactly do you do with it then? Try preloading that font. Don't we already have that though? What font is it? It's Barlow. We already have that local. I mean, honestly, it's so good. Like, I'm not even worried about it. I use ETH S3 plugin to the images. The LCP is probably the background image. Google doesn't always give you the right one in Lighthouse. Oh, okay. Well, why don't we try that real quick? I want to try that. I had the image right here. So if we just go /WP content, And then our preload is going to be an image. So do I need the full URL or can I do a relative? I wonder. I'm going to just try it as a relative URL. I wonder if that breaks anything. No, seems all right. We'll just scan it one more time and see what happens. So Vikas, you clearly are a performance expert. That's awesome. Or at least it seems like it. This is so cool. Hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. I certainly have. So 92, LCP is down slightly, but not actually that much. So maybe I did it wrong, but that is not something I would even worry about. Like I said at the very beginning of this stream, for me, this stuff is like, if I can eke out 90, 95% with very simple changes like we've done here, that's exactly my goal. I'm not going to sit here and try to, get this to like 99% every single time. I just think that's like completely insane and unrealistic. Maybe if you're addicted to page speed, you could totally do that. But I just don't think that it's worth the time to try to get every single bit out of it. Yomstead, hopefully I'm saying that right, says the only thing you have to be careful about is if they use a different image for mobile, you could be preloading an image that doesn't even appear. Yeah, good call. Totally. Preload that font. I want to see you achieve 100. Well, it's hosted locally, right? So it wouldn't make that big of a difference. So am I just going to go with font and then it's /wp content /upload /fonts what would it be? Can you do... I don't remember the font directory exactly, or what it was even called. I'm assuming it's Barlow. What is it? What font weight is this guy? Barlow 800. So is it /Barlow 800? I forget. Bruno, you're so welcome. Thanks for hanging out in the stream the whole time. I'm gonna go look at what the exact font name was real quick. It's Barlow-800.wolf2. Or WOF, whatever. I always say wolf. It's WOF, WOFF2. You need the full URL? Okay. So there's our preload for the font. Hopefully that font URL is correct. Barlow 800 WOF2. That's what I'm after, right? I believe so. So preload. Let's see if this makes any difference, any visible difference on the front end. Seems pretty screaming fast to me. Here we go. This is going to be our last scan because this is getting to the obsessive portion of what I was just talking about. So 92. And we're going to call it done after this. 68%, 70%. Good call. You can filter by fonts and see the direct URL. 74? What? We can't end like that. What happened? What did we do wrong? 98. I don't know what I did. I'm deleting that. I don't care. I'm done. We're gonna end that and scan one more time. I'm not ending on a 74. Oh, dude, Vikas, I should have rerun it again. Okay. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it, like I said. Let's see what we can pull off here. Give me the green. Give me the 90. That's all I want. One more. Come on now. It's like yay, there we go. 93, let's go. 96 on desktop. I'm done. We're calling that done. So just to recap, we started at a 23 on mobile. Then once we disabled SEO Press, that brought us up to, what was it, 65? And then now with the Perf Matters optimizations, we're all the way up to 93. So like I said, if you haven't already used Perf Matters, definitely click the link in the description below to take you there. It's a fantastic plugin. I think I paid 150 bucks. I'm pretty sure that's what it costs for at the current time for however many sites. I can't remember if it's unlimited or like 100 or something, but it was enough. plenty for me and our client stuff. Jaden, you're right. Yeah, right when you say last one, it'll throw you for a curve. You're totally right, dude. Bruno, that's a good question. I don't have any familiarity with S3 at all. I just have always used Cloudways, and it's just super easy and, you know, consistent. So that was the most important thing to me. That's why I've just kind of stuck with it. So nonetheless, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining the stream today. We're definitely going to do more of these. Drop a thumbs up in chat if you guys want to see another one of these performance streams. This was extremely fun. This is probably my favorite stream to date. That was really, really fun. Really like interactive with everybody. And I just genuinely appreciate every single one of you guys. Every single person here. And anybody watching after the fact, thank you. So I'm going to drop a thumbs up in chat because that was fun for me. So I'm going to totally do that. You guys rock. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. I'm signing off. I am going to go to lunch and really appreciate every single one of you, like I said. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.